Hi, this is Dave Jewell from Free Run Speed. Today we're going to talk about the Saucony Axon. About 3 weeks ago, a box showed up on my doorstep. Inside the box was a pair of these shoes and nothing else. There was no information, just the shoe. And I really like the way Saucony sent that to me because it gives me the ability to run in it and decide what it is instead of looking at all the statistics to figure out what they were trying to do. And I still don't know any of the statistics about the shoe in terms of midsole heights or midsole drops, any of that. I'm going to tell you what I think it is, and we'll see how good I am at it, but that doesn't really matter. What really matters is what the shoe feels like and who I think they built this shoe for. Let's talk about what I do know about the shoe. First and foremost, it's $100. It's not a super shoe at $250, which is all the rave right now. It's not, you know, the standard running shoe at $130. It's $100. And that's probably the most important aspect of this shoe other than how it rides. First thing I noticed when I put it on and started running in it is it has the same speed roll geometry that the Shift has, the Endorphin Pro, and the Endorphin Speed. So first up, they're bringing speed roll from $150 at the Shift down to $100 at the Axon. So that makes it more affordable, obviously, for more runners. Next thing I noticed is just the overall feel on foot, and you can see it in the shoe. This is a maximal cushion running shoe. It's got a stack height similar to any of the maximal shoes from a brand like Hoka One One or like the super shoes that are out there today. So it has that kind of a stack height. And when you run in it, you can definitely tell that it has that amount of foam under your foot. The next thing I noticed is it has a midsole wrap. So you're not actually sitting on top of this, where this midsole foam is, you're sitting inside this wrap. That just keeps your foot in place. Keeps your foot centered over the midsole. Alright, let's dive into the shoe. What I think, my guess right now is that the midsole drop, heel to forefoot drop, is somewhere between 4 and 5 millimeters. It, like I said, it is a maximal cushion shoe. The first few minutes on the shoe, it took me a while. It took me a bit to get used to the speed roll. I could feel it, but now after 50 miles, I don't even notice it. So that doesn't mean the speed roll's not there. It just means my foot and my running form has gotten used to it, which I think is good. That means my foot's not fighting against the shoe. I don't know the weight, but I can tell you that it's light. It feels very light on the foot. That doesn't mean it's not as light as a super shoe, but it's also not something you're going to put on your foot and go, oh man, this thing is heavy. It is a lightweight shoe. The upper is a single layer standard mesh. It's not engineered. They bought it off the shelf, and that's what it is. That's part of what makes it a $100 shoe. They didn't go out there and design the mesh, so they just picked it off the shelf. It has a gusseted tongue. It has a molded EVA sock liner. It has a pretty standard foam package. It's not a unique foam package in the heel. There are very few overlays built on the shoe. The only structural pieces on the upper come across here, and then the logo itself ties into it. So you've got this kind of an X piece as a welded overlay, and then you have the logo itself, but nothing up in the forefoot at all. It's just the mesh. The fit, and I say this all the time, if a shoe fits me, it's not going to fit you. This shoe does not fit me very well. I actually have to adjust with a thicker sock to get this shoe to fit even close to correct, which simply means it's going to fit a lot of feet. A lot of people are really going to like the fit of this shoe. The midsole, it's a one-piece midsole, and it's got rubber pods on the outer sole. The ride. Other than that first few steps where I felt the speed roll, this shoe rides super smooth, and most importantly, it is dead quiet. That's really important to me when I'm running. If I'm running and I can hear my feet tapping along when I'm running, I can feel the shoe on my foot. But when the shoe is super quiet when I'm out running, that means I don't feel anything. And that's the case with this shoe. I don't even notice that the shoe's on my foot. Like I've said before, I don't watch shoe reviews on YouTube. I have seen some people have done some reviews of this, and I haven't watched any of them. But I will say I looked at one of the headlines, and it was on Believe in the Run. And the headline said something to the fact that Saucony took the Kinvara and made a maximal version of the Kinvara. And I started laughing because years ago, I don't know what, we are on the Clifton 8 now, I think. Maybe 7 or 8. So Hoka One One was looking for their next shoe. They had the Bondi, it was doing really well. They had a number of trail shoes that were doing really well. They needed another road shoe. And as the story goes, they looked at the Saucony Kinvara as their inspiration for the Clifton. And so I started to laugh when I saw Believe in the Run say Saucony took the Kinvara and did a maximal version of the Kinvara. So yes, I'm going to agree with Believe in the Run. I'm going to agree that this Axon from Saucony at $100 is pretty darn close to the Clifton from Hoka One One. It's not exact. It's not an exact one-to-one, but I think it's what you would do if you were going to build a $100 Clifton. And I think that's where this shoe sits. So, who's this shoe for? If you're new to running, you're going to put this shoe on and run in it, and you are going to fall in love with the activity of running because you're not going to feel it as much. This shoe is going to protect you for a long time. If you're looking for just a daily trainer that you can run in a lot of miles and replace it and not be shocked by the sticker price, you're not going to go wrong with this shoe. There's going to be a lot of runners who just run in this shoe, beat it up, throw it in the trunk, run in it again, beat it up, throw it in the trunk, and then replace it with no worries because it's only $100. It's that good. A great number of years ago, Saucony had a shoe called the Jazz 3000. They, like everybody else, were in the process of replacing shoes more often. They weren't to the point where all shoe companies are today, where a shoe comes out every single year. But they were ready to retire the Jazz 3000. And in fact, it was on the block. It was being retired. And Consumer Reports came out and called the Jazz 3000 the best running shoe. At the time when Consumer Reports came out and said anything about a product and said they were doing their due diligence on researching, reviewing, and they weren't going to put their stamp of approval on just any product. And when they came out and said the Jazz 3000 was the best running shoe, Saucony had to quickly go back into production. And it became at the time, their #1 selling shoe of all time. It was a huge success. This Axon reminds me so much of what made that Jazz 3000 so good. It's a simple shoe. There's not a lot of pizzazz or junk thrown at it. It is a very simple shoe. Simple upper, simple midsole, simple outer sole, very minimal construction. Really easy for the factory to build this shoe. And I think in their brief and in their development, they continued to push simplification. Let's make it simple, let's make it simple, let's make it simple. And in that process, they created one heck of a running shoe that I think a lot of people are going to run in and really enjoy. And they did it at $100. And in today's world of shoes being $250, and you know the next super shoe is going to be $300 probably, it's coming, and here's a $100 shoe that you can run in every single day and feel confident in and enjoy the sport of running. Well done, Saucony. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like these videos, subscribe, share, leave comments. I'd love to hear from you. I try to answer every single comment. Thanks a lot for watching.